Good morning. This is KELOLAND On the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Funeral services for an infant boy whose body was discovered earlier this month at a Sioux Falls recycling center will be held today.
Miller Funeral Home and the Oakland Foundation have made arrangements for the baby Gabriel as he's being called. Organizers are hoping for a large turnout from the public.
It was amazing to see the amount of people that immediately contacted us, volunteered things to help out in any way they can.
The Miller Funeral Chapel is located at 7400 South Minnesota Avenue. The funeral service begins at 10:30 and everyone is encouraged to attend.
A former South Dakota state employee accused of stealing state money says she's not guilty. In July, 68-year-old Lana Carroll was charged with stealing nearly $1.8 million from the DSS, specifically Child Protective Services branch, over a roughly 13-year period. Tuesday in court, she pleaded not guilty to 2 criminal charges.
The judge set bond at $50,000. Carroll has been in the Hughes County Jail since her arrest. A 3-day trial was set for December 4th.
A survivor of domestic violence is working on recovering after being attacked by her ex-boyfriend. Darian Whitlock suffered severe injuries to her shoulder and hip. Her jaw also had to be wired shut.
But in a week and a half since the attack, she has received an overwhelming amount of support.
There are people that really do care about me and love me because for so long I was told otherwise. It's still hard to even believe the good things that people say, but I know that with time, all those bad things will disappear.
If you would like to donate to Whitlock's GoFundMe, we have attached a link to this story on KELOLAND.com. Now let's head over to meteorologist Scott Munt with a look at the weather this foggy morning.
Yeah, that's just it. Thick fog in eastern and southeastern KELOLAND. That will go away. We'll have sunshine this afternoon and temperatures will warm to the 80s, 90s, and a couple of lower 100s across the plains of western South Dakota. I'll have more details on your KELOLAND live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thanks, Scott. The Sioux Falls Police Department and 4 other law enforcement agencies have been working together since March to catch speeding drivers. They've completed 5 saturations, issuing 775 citations, and making 54 arrests during the patrols.
Police say those numbers are a significant increase compared to previous efforts. A grant from the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety has allowed officers to spend more time patrolling for reckless driving.
We're at 523 DWI arrests. As a department whole this year, over 5,532 speeding citations, 555 seatbelt violations, and numerous other charges.
Sioux Falls Police partner with Lincoln and Minnehaha County Sheriff's Offices, South Dakota Highway Patrol, and Minnehaha County Reserves.
Minnehaha Country Club hosted Media Day Tuesday for the annual Sanford International that is set to take place in just a couple of weeks. Sioux Falls native Ryan Jansa recently returned from the Senior British Open in Scotland, where he wasn't far from making the final cut.
The decorated amateur golfer is set to compete alongside the likes of 4 past Sanford International champions and 3-time Masters champion Bernhard Langer.
The goal for me is to try to normalize it. It's just another golf tournament. We all have the same number of clubs. We've probably been doing it about the same time. I haven't been doing it professionally nearly as long as they have, obviously. I need to try to make it a little bit more normal so that when you are in there that you're not completely starstruck.
The PGA Tour Champions event begins September 9th and runs through the 15th.
The downtown Sioux Falls Pork Showdown is returning this September for its 4th year, with 26 restaurants participating. From September 1st to the 30th, customers will vote on the best pork dish. This is a look at some of the dishes that you can find at the various participating restaurants.
The voting categories include the use of pork, flavor, tenderness, presentation, and customer service. Customers can then vote and rank each restaurant through the DTSF Digital Passport app. For a closer look at the showdown, check out this KELOLAND.com original by Gracie Terrell online now.
That's a look at some of our top stories today.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Scott Mudd. Scott?
Well, good morning, everybody. That fog will lift in eastern and southeastern KELOLAND. We'll have increasing southeast winds help bring in some humidity as we go through the day. You will notice thicker humidity by this afternoon. We'll see if we get an isolated thunderstorm parts of central and north central South Dakota. The modeling information has been going in and out with that chance here in the central and north central KELOLAND as we do hit the late evening hours. If anything does develop, there is that risk that it can become severe as the slight risk for severe weather exists in central and northern South Dakota. As the system moves to the east, we'll already have our moisture in place with those higher dew point temperatures in eastern KELOLAND. In comes the drier air behind the front. When these two air masses collide, we'll get developing showers and thunderstorms in eastern South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Some of these will develop as early as, say, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and they may linger into the evening hours for Minnesota and northwestern Iowa. Drier air comes in for Friday, and it looks like we'll have dry skies as we do go through this holiday weekend. There is that risk for severe weather. This is for tomorrow. Slight risk into Minnesota and northwestern Iowa. Again, look for things to develop in South Dakota probably after 2 o'clock. Forecast for today showing afternoon highs in the 80s, 90s, and lower 100s with this increasing southerly wind. And that forecast tonight, we'll watch for isolated shower and thunderstorm chances central to northeastern South Dakota. Mild overnight as temperatures only fall to the upper 60s and low 70s in eastern and southeastern KELOLAND. Then for tomorrow, we'll have highs in the 70s and 80s. We'll have thicker clouds tomorrow with the developing showers and thunderstorms in eastern South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. You can always check the details of the 7-day forecast while you're here online. Have a great day.